Deck the halls with cardboard boxes, lolly-lolly-lo, ho-ho-ho. 'Tis the season to love foxes, lolly-lolly-lo, ho-ho-ho. Don we now our stealth apparel, lolly-lolly, ho-ho-ho. Tokajima's Yuletide carol, lolly-lolly-lo, ho-ho-ho.
So the Snake Eater review is on its way. I know some of you guys can't wait for it, and I appreciate your patience, guys. Had a few distractions pop up in the last 2 weeks, but that's all said and done. In the meantime, it's close to Christmas. I've had some gifts to deliver, and now I got a bonus video for you guys. Plastic's still on. I came across this Metal Gear fan game centered around the holidays. Maybe you've heard of it? Metal Gear Solid. It was made nearly 10 years ago by a fellow named Arthur Lee. Apparently it was for some sort of Christmas-related contest, and he ended up taking the whole grand prize with this holiday parody of the Metal Gear series. Nice going there, man. I'm already in the middle of this Metal Gear marathon, so it's only appropriate, right? Let's give it a look-see and see if we're missing out on anything here. Ever since the 9/11 attacks, the United States has greatly increased security. Flying objects in the sky are kept under a tight watch, and logically this causes a problem for jolly old St. Nick. Look, some might think that was in poor taste, but maybe it's my love for a bit of dark comedy every once in a while, but that's pretty fucking funny. Of course Santa Claus would have issues flying on a sleigh with 8 reindeer after an event like that. So Santa Claus has to keep his gift deliveries on foot for the time being, and his next destination is right here on 14015 Hideo Drive. Is this supposed to be a house or a fucking mansion? There's over 10 stories in this place, and sweet Parson Brown, how many kids do these parents have? And they all look alike too. Lays on fan terrible indeed. You know, maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I'm surprised there haven't been more Christmas spin-offs of the Metal Gear franchise, because the major foundation of the series, stealth, makes perfect sense for what Santa Claus does. A jolly fat stranger sneaking into people's houses to leave gifts under the tree, all without being caught. There is no better person for that kind of game, and Santa's up for the job, along with his associate Tiny Tim, who gives Santa the codename of Solid Santa for the mission. Now, this isn't a very long game. I completed it in about 35 minutes on my first playthrough, but for something you don't have to pay for, you could do a lot worse. The whole mission takes place inside this gargantuan house. All these kids are up and about because they know it's close to Christmas and they want their presents now, but if I had to wait as a kid, then so will these impatient little shits. Metal Gear Solid is set up like the original Metal Gear with its top-down perspective and limited moveset. You don't have much to work with, and if you're expecting any sort of weapons, congratulations, you're a monster. You gotta sneak past the children, silly, and we're playing by European extreme rules here. If you're spotted at all, there's no cavalry of munchkins or bowels of joyous gas leaking through the vents. It's a straight-up game over. There's a checkpoint on every floor, so it isn't like you have to redo a ton of stuff if you mess up. And the rooms are pretty small, but being caught is no less heart-pounding, surprisingly, and now it's 5-year-olds you have to watch out for. You use the keyboard for everything except for one feature, and that's your Christmas spirit. Sound cool? Yeah, well, it's a glorified remote. You only use it to turn TVs on to distract kids, and it's only for a few seconds before the kids turn their attention back to the hallway anyway. The mouse is used to activate this feature. You just click on the TV like so, and there you go. It's not totally intrusive, it's just a little awkward when you have to utilize it in a tight spot. And that's about the only gripe I have with this, because Metal Gear Solid is a neat little holiday parody of Hideo Kojima's franchise from beginning to end. The codec conversations between Santa and Tiny Tim are filled with humorous jabs at some of the franchise's silliest elements. You hide in a gift box to get past kids, you use a Nerf gun and digital camera to momentarily daze oncoming threats, you smoke a candy cane to reveal infrared lasers, and the house has infrared lasers. What a bunch of paranoid fucks. I knew what kind of game I was getting into the moment I heard the background music begin playing. But in the spirit of Metal Gear, there are a few curveballs thrown at you, and the biggest one sort of leads into the second game, Metal Gear Solid 2: Ghosts of Christmas Past. After Santa delivers the presents to the Christmas tree, he's suddenly ambushed by the one and only Solid Snake. The lone mercenary had good word that Santa was actually a twin of Big Boss called Big Beard, and that he was part of the Los Bigotes Perfectos project, a means to create the perfect beard, and really, who has a better beard than Santa Claus? Whoa, holy shit, goddamn. Let's give that title to Ramu then. Sweet Jesus. Because of Snake's past experiences with Big Boss in Outer Heaven, he didn't want to chance anything by letting his twin go scot-free, even if the person in question was fucking Santa Claus. So Snake kills him. Okay then, as a result of St. Nick's assassination, the SOC system, or the Spirit of Christmas system, has gone out of whack and the number of PNCs has greatly increased. That's pretty naughty children. An extremist group labeling themselves as the Ghost of Christmas Past are looking to use Santa's hat to take control of the SOC system, allowing them to alter the balance of good kids and naughty kids to how they see fit. They also want access to the brain of Santa Claus, but for what reason we're not sure of yet. Otacon is able to ascertain that the Ghosts of Christmas Past are having a meeting with the US President inside the Outer Saving Mall. I fucking love that name. Under the codename of Cold Snake, our gruff hero, complete in Santa gear, is sent to infiltrate the mall to stop the Ghosts of Christmas Past from getting their hands on the SOC system and St. Nick's brain. And with this being a full-blown shopping mall instead of a 10-story house, there's enough to keep Snake on his toes. This is a much bigger game than the first Metal Gear Solid. I was quite honestly shocked. I mean, it's still nowhere near the size of an actual Metal Gear title, but for a free download, I was impressed. First off, this is a sweet-looking game. The environments are sterile but distinguishable, as much as you could hope for inside a mall at least. The soundtrack is an awesome combination of Christmas and Metal Gear jingles. That's a sentence I never thought I would type and read out loud. And character sprites are spot on. Look at Snake here. He looks so adorable while still maintaining that cool dynamic about him, even when I'm wearing a deer head as a disguise. There are more areas to sneak around, a shitload more of children to bypass, and more security measures fans of the series will recognize, like surveillance cameras. There's also a lot more dialogue, filled with comedic jabs at Kojima's method of storytelling, the ridiculousness of the current situation, and voice acting that's pretty good for what it sets out to do. I think only Metal Gear fans will truly get the most out of all the nuances and references to the past games, but the game also has oodles of comedy that I think anyone can enjoy, like this bit with the toast item.
Wow, it looks like the mold is breaking that jam down. It's almost completely disappeared.
Great. So now I've got a jam-eating mold. What use have I got for that?
Well, it's a stretch, but maybe it could break down radar jam too.
Normally, something only fans of a series would enjoy would be, to some degree, a bad thing for me. But with this being a free title, I believe it's relatively harmless here, and I think it's safe to assume if you're even thinking about approaching this, you have some Metal Gear knowledge on you already. Is it weird that I find this game oddly better than the original Metal Gear? I would even say it's about as good as Metal Gear 2, for different reasons mind you, but I was hooked. It's about 3 hours long, codec conversations included, but the gameplay is damn decent. You have a radar system to help scope out the area, and it points you to the next destination so you can never get lost. It sort of gets in the way when trying to look out ahead though. The radar isn't transparent, and I know the thing shows me what's around me, but I like to get a visual confirmation that isn't always the case. It's a small thing to point out, I should stress, but I felt it was warranted. Avoiding enemy contact is really what it's all about, and once again, if you're so much as spot it, that's an instant game over. It gets tense at times. This is a fan game that tries its best to get the formula right, and I think it works. And it also tries to have fun with combat too. Use your Novocaine to temporarily knock the fuck out of children. Just the idea of Solid Snake beating the shit out of a kid to get past something is hilarious. You can even blast them in the face with a non-lethal Nikita missile. Now, the only joke I don't think hit its mark was the lampooning of the sniper rifle bit from Metal Gear Solid. How many fucking times am I gonna have to bring that up? At one point far into the mission, Snake has to travel all the way back to the start to get something he left up there for progression. And they played for laughs, I'm down with that, but it's still a major black mark on the game's pace. It ends up being more of a straight example rather than a parody. Other than that, Metal Gear Solid 2 works off the strengths of the Metal Gear series to deliver a short, yet fun stealth game that's full of holiday cheer and a bunch of laughs. Comedy's all subjective, I'm aware, but even without the plot, this is a cool fan game that's clearly filled with the love and passion of a Metal Gear fan. If you haven't already, go download the game, give it a try. Again, it costs nothing. All you need is a computer, and everyone's got one of those, right? So like I said before, I plan on having the Snake Eater review done sometime before the new year, so at some point next week, keep your eyes out open for that. In the meantime, I hope it's going to be a joyous holiday for you all. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I don't care what you celebrate. I hope it's all a good time for you all. And if you get any Christmas money, you know, maybe consider investing in the Metal Gear franchise. I don't know. Oh, actually, no, wait. It's the Steam Winter Sale, isn't it? You're probably better off going there instead to get more bang for your buck, most definitely. But whether or not that's the case, I hope you guys all have a joyous holiday. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, Christmas holiday, and take care. Should probably take the beard off first.
Deck the halls with cardboard boxes, lolly-lolly, ho-ho-ho. 'Tis the season to love foxes, lolly-lolly, ho-ho-ho. Don we now our stealth apparel, lolly-lolly, ho-ho-ho. So Kojima's Yuletide carol, lolly-lolly, ho-ho-ho. La-la-loo-la-la-la-la.
The fuck was that?
I guess Mark's posing behind you.
Merry Christmas to everyone.